Hi everyone, this is Chandra. I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, what everyone else has commented on. It's kind of hard not to address it. So we're going to talk about the slap, the entanglement, and the aftermath. So Will Smith lost control of himself at the Academy Awards ceremony and jumped up on stage and slapped Chris Rock. Now, when I first heard it, my niece told me what happened. I was busy cooking at the time. My niece told me what happened. I was like, what? That just sounds ridiculous. So I, went on Twitter and started reading accounts of what happened. And I didn't want to see the footage. I was like, I'm sure it was just a circus and I didn't need to see it. But inevitably, someone sent me, I think it was my niece again, sent me footage of the happening. And when I watched it, I was just shocked. I was like, what is he doing? It was really, really surreal, really unbelievable. And I was like, wow, thinking, part of me was thinking and feeling like, you know, at first when I saw it, maybe Chris deserved it. Um, I'm not the biggest Chris Rock fan. He's had his funny moments, but, he's just okay to me. So after watching it and talking about it, and the more I talked about it, that really honestly, the angrier I felt. I felt angry and sad. There's really no reason to lose control of yourself to that extent over something someone said. Now, I could understand if he was, making sexual comments or, just really saying something extremely derogatory. But, even me, I had to really sit down and think about the reference to G.I. Jane. I don't think I ever saw G.I. Jane. So I had to really sit down and think about the reference. And then I looked at Jada, and Jada's a beautiful woman. She's pretty whether she's bald or whether she has hair on her head. So it was hard for me to understand why such offense was taken at a joke that wasn't even really that funny. That for some of us, we actually had to sit down and think about the reference before it even clicked that it was some type of joke to be laughed at. So it was really out of place, and it's very shocking and just really downright disturbing. Now, the hardest part for me to deal with and digest this is that it was violent. It was really violent. It was really emotional, and I think as a man, um, I just found it really kind of odd and out of place that Will Smith would exhibit such emotion. He's an actor, yes, but when we're talking about his personal relationship, I just feel like whatever emotions he was feeling about his relationship spilled out over into the public, and it just wasn't called for. Whether you agree with me or not, that's my opinion on it. It was just too emotional. It was too big of an emotional display it was out of proportion for the type of joke and the setting. Before the slap even occurred, there was an even bigger elephant in the room, and that was the issue of the entanglement that Jada presented to us in her show, the Red Table Talks, or whatever it is called. Now, I'm speaking to you as a married woman. I've been married for almost 14 years. I've known my husband for 17 years. So I've been in a serious relationship with someone, and I've been married for well over a decade. And I I think that one of the things that a healthy marriage really embodies is respect. Respect for your husband, respect for your wife. Now, I know I've heard that, Jada and Will have this, open marriage, and they do whatever they feel like they have to do to keep things going. And I think that open marriage or not, you still need to be respectful of your spouse. And a lot of times, respecting your spouse means that you keep your private business private. And there's a part of me that can't help but believe that all of this talk about open marriage, this big production about entanglements, is nothing more than attention seeking. And you really kind of have to make up your mind. Like, do you want to have a healthy marriage, or do you want to exploit every area, every avenue of your life for fame and for attention? And I can't help but feel that the latter is simply not worth it. Now, I don't know what goes on inside their marriage. It's none of my business. But the fact of the matter is, Jada has made it our business. And I know people who've said that Chris deserves to be slapped because he disrespected Will's wife. And, as Will said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Well, you can't have it both ways. You can't put all your business in the street and then get upset when someone makes a joke about you. Now, the joke wasn't even about their marriage or about their life in general. It was about Jada's appearance, and I I think Jada is gorgeous. As I may have said this earlier, I think she's gorgeous with or without hair. So who cares? Who cares what Chris Rock has to say about her bald head? It's also, bald heads are fashionable. So it wasn't even a funny joke. So let it go, move on. And if, you know, Jada was offended and Will wanted to do something about it, it really should have happened off stage. He should have not laughed at all if he really felt that it was that offensive. And even though he did laugh and he saw that Jada wasn't laughing, he should have said, okay, I'm going to signal to Chris that I don't think this is a good idea to be joking about Jada. And he should have dealt with it after the fact. He could have dealt with it at the after party. He could have dealt with it backstage. He could have even just dealt with it in the parking lot. And that would have you know, been far more appropriate than how it was handled. I'm not saying anything anyone else hasn't said. It's just that this is so disturbing that I think almost everybody has something to say about it. Now, Will defending Jada. I think he should defend Jada. But I also believe that Jada should defend Will. And one of the things, as you know, I'm going to be honest with you, as a black woman married to a black man, you have to know how to protect your husband as well. We know how black men are treated. We know how, stepping out of the bounds of being, you know, um, palatable and diplomatic, where that can get our men. And what I think should have happened was that she should have not even let Will get up and do what he did. Now, there's a possibility that he was already on his way and that she couldn't have stopped him if she wanted to. But there's just something about the energy that would even embolden him or make him feel like he needed to do that within, their existence, within their union, within their marriage. And I say that Jada doesn't and hasn't shown Will the respect that he deserves as her husband and as a man. And it looked out of place for him to come to her defense in the way that he did when she doesn't come to his defense. Period. Will assaulted Chris. Whether Chris was out of pocket or not, that was an assault. And I commend Chris in his ability to read the situation and not press charges against Will. But he was assaulted and he took it like a man. I have to give it to him for that. But that was an assault and it was uncalled for, it was unnecessary, and it was out of place. And so we're divided in the aftermath. We're divided into two camps. There are those that feel that Will was right in defending Jada. And there are those like me who feel that Will assaulted Chris. And for that other camp, I understand. And I think that to some extent I understand that we believe our men should defend us. But we also have to be defensible. We can't behave one way and then expect to be respected. I think that it was out of proportion for what they've been presenting. And yes, their marriage is their business, but they've also made it our business. They have made it our business. So we've made it our business to speak on all of what has happened. It was shocking and a little bit traumatic, to be honest with you. So, I hope that over time people see this for what it is, which was something unnecessary, overly emotional response to a man that was hired to tell jokes, to get on stage and tell jokes and to host a ceremony. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. Take care.